What's up, guys? Shout out to Ryan Bragg beating everyone, I think even me, to the stream.
Awesome. Way to go, Ryan.
Yeah, man. So today you might be wondering, where's Jake and Chris at? And why are you guys doing this so late? Jake and Chris are currently at Heroes Con, or maybe they wrapped up for the day. It's currently what, 7:30 over on that time, Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they probably wrapping up for the day. But because they're out, we got Taylor in from Taylor Talks Comics.
I'm here, and Jordan, I have live streamed with Jake, but now I get to live stream with the better half of Brave and the Boys.
Oh, that's so heartwarming. Thank you.
I can say that because he's not here, right?
You could say that when he's here. That never changes. Yeah, Taylor's great. It's great to be on with you, man. We're in a group chat together, and sometimes we communicate through there. But yeah, first live stream.
No, it's exciting. So yeah, and I've been wanting to get on the show. Jake's asked me to be on the show, but I just happen to work a lot of Saturdays. But Jordan was nice enough to push it back for me for today, so I can fill in while the other guys are conning it up over there.
Having a good time. Have you seen any of the photos Jake's been sending?
I have. I saw the, especially the one that's the world's finest cover, which is really, really great.
That's my favorite so far.
I know that was a goal of his. I know he said that he wanted to get that, and I think they nailed it. So,
what a goofball. So, yeah. Jake's probably going to post a bunch of these photos upcoming. So, look forward to that. If you're in the Brave and the Boys Discord, you're probably actually already getting a couple glimpses of that. If I have any admin in here, throw that link down below, or I could try to figure it out because I never host these.
James Abel is actually at Heroes Con with them.
Yeah,
but his super producer powers are still activated because he was on the Omar live stream earlier. Omar live streamed his Saturday show from near my condition live at the con, and James Abel made a cameo appearance.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't been able to keep up with any of the coverage so far. I was just telling you, I was out at an anniversary dinner today, which was pretty fun. Yeah, James always comes in clutch with those links, man. He's really the backbone of any live stream.
I know he's great.
Yeah, love James. Now, Taylor, what we typically do on the show is we talk about any comics that we've read recently, which for me, I've been on a brief hiatus. But I did also get some pickups. So we talk about what we've been reading, and then if there's anything you want to show on them, like a Manny Hall, more than happy to do that.
Yeah, I just on my channel, Taylor Talks Comics, I did a haul video that came out yesterday. Last weekend, my family took me down to Louisville, Kentucky for Father's Day, and we went to a bunch of comic book shops down there. It's really cool. So I found some cool treasures. So I won't board you with every little detail of those, but one cool pickup I have got recently though, and I know Jordan and any longtime viewer of the channel knows I'm a huge Jack Kirby fan.
Yep.
One of the coolest things that's ever happened to me as a comic book YouTuber was that the Jack Kirby Museum, the guy that runs it, emailed me and was like, "Hey, we're a big fan of your channel, and like, do you want to collaborate or something?" And I was like, "Holy crap! The Jack Kirby Museum watches my channel." So he said, "That's awesome." There's just the Sky Masters of the Space Force.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have the daily strip somewhere around here. Oh, actually, my computer's on it. So, quick little history. Back in the late 50s, Jack Kirby was with DC Comics. It was called National back then. And he came out with the Challengers of the Unknown, which is a team that people always talks about how it's like that was a predecessor to the Fantastic Four. Well, in between Challengers and the Fantastic Four, he was doing a newspaper strip called Sky Masters of the Space Force. And it was always his goal to be in the newspaper strips and have like a long ongoing strip in the newspaper, because that was like the creme de la creme of a cartoonist career back then, was to be a newspaper cartoonist. That was just like, those were what people respected. If you told them you drew, a newspaper strip, people respected it. If you told them you drew comics, it was kind of like, oh, you drew those kiddie books.
Yeah.
But so that's the daily strips, that hardcover, but this is the Sunday strips. And this thing is gorgeous. This whole book, I actually have an overview of this on my channel dropping tomorrow. If you want to check that out. but includes all 54 of the Sunday strips that were in here that Jack Kirby did, and
in full color. Wow.
But not just those. It has, so those are only 54 pages, or the strips. But this is a 150-page book because it has all the history that went down with it. It included a lawsuit with DC Comics that actually led Jack Kirby to go over to Marvel. So it's like, if that strip was successful, it only lasted 2 years. If that strip was successful, we might not have even got the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and the Hulk, all these things. So it's a crazy bit of comic book history, but really, really cool book. So I'm showing that off on my channel tomorrow.
Taylor, I love your channel so much, man. You give such a deep dive into the history of all of this that I really appreciate.
I appreciate
it's
that.
awesome.
I get a little obsessive about these things, so I appreciate that.
Dude, I'm all for it. I know you've been collecting the Taschens, right?
Yes, I have. I have the Hulk one that I've been reading for an overview that I still need to do.
I'm so jealous. That's the one that I want the most. I just
really?
love Hulk's just. I know initially it's not as tragic as it is, but just the despair that Hulk goes through, and he has to do it like day to day, adventure to adventure. It's always been a great read for me.
Yeah, it's wild. And some of those early issues you get Steve Ditko inking Jack Kirby, which is amazing. Like that, you have Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby working on the same books. But yeah, I love that stuff. I love the early Rick Jones stuff too. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I feel if I ever had a chance to pitch a story to Marvel, I'd pitch a Rick Jones story because I feel like his entire history with Marvel, he's touched so many different things.
That's so
he's
cool.
Kind of like that. He could be like that. The viewpoint of the reader kind of character. I think that's always what he kind of acted as, surrounded by all these heroes. But yeah, that early Hulk stuff's good.
Shout out to some of the friends of the channel. So shout out to Mike, and we got back Kato, Number of the Beast. I'm back to wearing my metal T-shirts on a comic book show. Got the spotlight, the batlight going on in the background over there.
I'm trying to fix my lighting a little bit. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And then what I've been reading lately. Did you pick this up?
It's on my list to pick up. I have not grabbed it yet, though.
Oh, this is so good. This might be my omnibus of the year so far. This is. Have you ever read this run before?
No. I know some of the things that came out of it just because I saw it compared to the movies, but
yeah.
Other than that, no.
So this omnibus, I've read this run. I read it in the trade paperbacks back in the day, and I sold those. One thing I do, like, you know, people talk about how like, oh, I bought all these trade paperbacks, so now it's going to give you the omnibus kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like just brag. I kind of do an opposite strategy. Is if I want to run to be an omnibus, I'll sell off the collections that I have to try to will it into existence.
Gotcha.
It doesn't always work, but so I sold off those trade paperbacks after I read them, wanting this omnibus to exist. I was shocked we didn't get it when the James Gunn movie came out, but now we have it. And this actually includes more than the trade paperbacks. It includes the Legends miniseries that kicked it off. They kicked off the Suicide Squad, which was amazing. Have you ever read that miniseries?
I have not.
So this takes place right after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it kind of helps plant all the seeds for like Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, like everything kind of like, you know, exploded and then came together. This kind of plants the seeds for like what's going to happen right after that with all these different characters, and it's all about like Darkseid kind of feuding with the Phantom Stranger.
That's cool.
But John Byrne does the artwork throughout the miniseries. Incredible stuff. I couldn't believe I've never read this before. So that kicks off this omnibus, all 6 issues, and then it gets into the Suicide Squad run, which is just so fun. It's like this ragtag team of villains with a constantly evolving cast. Some characters die, some characters go away. So it's like got true stakes to it. Like great picture of Captain Marvel.
That's awesome.
And it's like this ragtag team of flawed characters that always go on these missions, and the missions almost always fail, whether it be because the one character screws up real bad, or one character will like double cross them, or another character will like double cross a double crosser. Like it's like insane these missions that they go on. And it's so much fun. Like these characters are so well fleshed out. It's a really, really great run. So I'm glad we have the first one. And in the introduction, there's going to be 3 volumes of this. So they really, really packed it in with absolutely every issue they could. And James Gunn even writes a foreword.
That's awesome. So definitely adding that to the pickup list. I also have one other for today. And then just to jump into the chat really quick. What's up, Alex? I don't have a Judas Priest shirt, but I should add one to the repertoire. Big fan of them. And then shout out to Matt. Oh wow, I just saw what his icon is.
Man, he has COVID, and he still feels good enough to razz Jake a little bit.
Man, we got a hit list on Jake. We do hope you feel better though. I've had COVID. It sucks. Feel much better. So. We got Bacado. Yuck, get better. I'm right there with you. What up, Taylor and Jordan? Hope you both are well.
Hey, Richard. He used to watch my live streams back when I did them regularly. I'm going to bring those back, by the way. Richard and anyone else that's interested. I want to do a weekly show again.
Hell yeah. Cool. Now, I haven't been reading comics all too much recently, but I am going to start again. I swear. I do have some planned time tomorrow morning to actually sit down and read. I did get something that just this week, and I'm a little disheartened by it, but I did pick up the Bone Kickstarter.
Ooh, nice.
I got the slipcase edition with the hardcover.
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. So far I've flipped through the pages now. It's damn near perfect of a book, except mine got crunched in shipping.
No.
Because they didn't use any packing.
Oh no.
It was literally the box, 2 of these Bone books, because one of them is a present for Jake, and both of them came crunched.
Oh, I was gonna say, could you give him the damaged one?
That was the plan until I saw both.
Is there a lot of like extra material and back matter in there?
Let's flip through it.
Because I'm very much interested in those. I love that series. Obviously, I think every comic book fan does that has read it.
Yeah, Bone is just. This is what got Jake and I to start being friends.
Oh yeah, I love that story where he was razzing you about the not getting the color edition, but he actually got it, and he actually had never read it anyways. And
that's Jake being Jake, pretending like he knows there's a better edition. Here we go. Okay, so I have so this is the entirety of the book. This is the entirety of the extras.
Oh man.
So we do get quite a few extras. So some retellings, some original sketches, behind the scene work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that because I'm a sucker for that, for any sort of comic book history and behind the scenes kind of stuff. And I don't think Bones ever released any back matter like that before. I think all the editions are usually just straight comics.
Yeah, I know in my the 1 volume edition, there's no extras. It's straight to the point.
Same thing with the paperbacks and things. So I might have to pick. Are there gonna be 4 volumes that complete the series? Okay,
there'll be 4 total of those. So I did pick this up. I think I'm not 100%, but I know some retailers will be selling them. So if you can pick it up in a store, go support your local comic book shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that for sure.
Here, we'll tune in, and then we got Bunk, which Bunk was at Heroes Con. So which one of you is the brave boy today?
Bunk, how you feeling about the Pacers, man? You gotta tell me how you're feeling about the NBA championship game 7 tomorrow. I'm sure you've been watching. I know your Celtics lost, but you gotta be supporting the Eastern Conference, right? let me know, Bunk.
Game 7 tomorrow. We're getting Bunk into sports. What's up, guys? It's great talking to everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So yeah, that was the Bone, man. I gonna see if I could reach out to them potentially, but that's wild. If I don't, whatever.
Unfortunately, you get that with a lot of crowdfunding because the people that are because basically you're shipping and everything yourself, and it's coming from someone that usually distributes your comics to someone else to do that. So they're not experiencing that, I think, a lot, and unfortunately, they're I don't know, but I wish, especially when you have a premium like hardcover like that, like you'd think you'd like take the utmost care with it because they don't want to eat the cost either if they feel like they have to refund these things. But
but
what can you do?
Too bad. I'll reach out, see if they say anything. If they can get me a replacement slipcase, sure. If not, like I said, whatever, man. It's just a book.
Yeah.
But we do have some books coming out this Tuesday. Let's go ahead, and I always forget which one of these is. Boop. There we go. Let's get Bunk off the screen. Giants win everything, no matter what.
Oh, that's my buddy Low Hit. He's teasing me a little bit now.
Here we go. Apologies for any mistakes that I make, and you're going to see my mouse fly across the screen multiple times. I'm not used to doing the control portion of this, but we have the new releases for the week of June 24th.
It's all right. We just need to prove that we can do this without Jake.
Yeah.
We can get by without him.
Jake is the back end guy. He does the editing. He does the setting up for streams. I do the making things look pretty. That includes Jake, actually.
Oh, wow. Well, you do a great job.
I try. So let's see what's coming out for the week of June 24th, starting with... Oh, that's right there. So we got Batman Detective Comics New 52 Omnibus.
So I've not read this run. I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't read a lot of modern comics.
Yeah.
I'll still pick up runs here and there. I'm not completely against reading modern comics. I'm just very much behind. But I think this is isn't this early James Tynion stuff?
So what we have here, this is going to be, I would have to double check. I can't remember if he did any in the New 52 portion, maybe towards the end. I'll double check, but this is going to pick up when we rebooted the DC universe and we get the brand new numbering system here. So we do get a brand new number 1 until that gets changed back a couple years later from here.
Tight run, perfect place to dive into Boundless Tales.
Here we go. So that's a badass cover from Mike. Gossa the Finch. Jake behind the scenes is better. He could take his shirt off. That is too true. New 52 is no longer modern. Sad.
Yes, it is. We are getting to that point where it's old, but still, most of my comics that I read are pre-2000. But like I said, I still read some stuff after that. But
Henry coming in clutch. It's Tony S. Daniel and some Greg Hurwitz.
Okay.
Here we
So
go.
this was concurrent with the Snyder Batman run, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So because I know Snyder was like a mentor of Tynion, so I thought this was like.
There we go. This is a Court of Owls adjacent. Yep. So this is when they rebooted the universe with the New 52. So this is coming out in 2011. But
that's a creepy cover though with those baby doll heads.
Oh my god, the end of this run gets even creepier. This is spoilers in case anyone's gonna read this. So I'll give you a second to click and pause. And all right, that's enough. This is where at the very end of the comic, the Joker gets his face cut off.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
But
so that's what we're leading into. So that was the last issue of Detective Comics. And yeah, we jump directly here.
Nice.
Cool,
nice,
cool.
Nice.
So definitely I have this on pre-order. Sounds like you might not though.
No, I don't know. Like if I buy it, it'll be years from now. I don't. I get in some. Sometimes I feel like I really want to read a lot of Batman comics. And I usually try to read stuff I haven't read before. So if I get into one of those moods, I might dive into this. There
we are. Joker gets his face cut off. Yeah. It has the Night of Owls, Death of the... Yep. So, New 52. This is where I was reading comic books when I first started getting into Batman. So I have this on pre-order, and it's going to go right up on the shelf. Let's see. But we also have coming out, and this is more up your alley.
Yes.
Jack Kirby's Mr. Miracle Artist Edition.
I am so freaking excited for this book. I missed out on all the Jack Kirby artist editions. When I started collecting artist editions, they were all out of print. So this is a reprint, and I'm glad to bring this back. They did a New Gods, a Mr. Miracle, and Forever People artist edition. And this one collects full issues, and it collects the tremendous era of Mr. Miracle, issues 5 through 9, which I know you were reading Fourth World. Have you gotten to this point yet?
Yes, I've surpassed all of this now. So
okay, awesome.
So I've read all the material that is being collected in here.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the best stuff, the best of the best with Mr. Miracle, Jack Kirby stuff. Because after issue 11, issue 11's when all the books got canceled.
Yep.
Mr. Miracle continues on to issue 18.
Yep.
And those issues 12 through 18 are really become more of just like straightforward superhero comics, and less of the Mr. Miracle New God stuff, which there's still fun issues. I still like those issues, but this good stuff is in this.
That's also when they started introducing other characters into Mr. Miracle, if I remember right.
Yeah,
they added I'm trying to remember what that kid's name was.
He
gets his own sidekick during that point.
I know who you're talking about. What was his name?
I'm blanking on it. I just read earlier this year. That's why I remember it.
Yeah.
But...
No, I know who you're talking about. And also you get more of like the slice of life kind of Mr. Miracle stuff that would then influence like the 80s run, which has like a lot more slice of life. And then even further on to like the Tom King run, we get more of that slice of life kind of interactions.
Yeah.
Matt, I have one so far. I don't know if it's down here or not. I don't know. It's the Legion of Superheroes one. I do want to pick up more DC Finest because I'm a huge collector of the Epic collections, and I love that DC's finally doing that. And there's so many volumes that I do want. Like I want the Plastic Man run, the Superman Family run. I think some of you great at Silver Age stuff. All those like weird, obscure runs that I enjoy. Definitely pick up in those. I just have been behind on picking them up.
Matt, I just saw what your icon is, dude. That's so good. I heart my dad. Oh man, Matt, your icon game. It's your profile pick game is off the charts.
Oh yeah, the Peacemaker DC Finest. I want that one too, for sure. That's got some like the Charlton era comics.
Also, if you love New Gods, do not miss Ramvi's New Gods going wherever collectors. Yeah, so I bought the first 3 issues and I haven't read them. But they're on the list.
I'll definitely read that one because I do love anything to do with the New Gods.
Oh man.
And I've collected like every run of New Gods and collected edition up until this point. So I'll definitely pick that up when it's collected.
Dude, New Gods was my obsession for the entire beginning of the year. I read as fast as I could through volumes 1 and 2 of the omnibus. So that's where I've left off on New Gods. So I know there's
volume 2 doesn't have the best stuff in there. I was kind of disappointed by that era. Some of that stuff's good, like the Jerry Conway New Gods run. I did enjoy that one.
Yeah,
because I feel like he picked up where Kirby left off a little bit.
I did not like the Mr. Miracle.
I know, and I was really disappointed by the era because I love Steve Gerber a lot, and Marshall Rogers is a great artist too. I'm a big fan of both those guys. So when I found out they're on Mr. Miracle, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be sweet," but it was just bland.
The whole Jesus allegory and
yeah,
becoming the next Messiah was. I wasn't too prevy with that.
Which Steve Gerber is known for doing this really weird, like out there, trippy kind of stories. But that just one didn't land for me.
Yeah, same here. I think the best material that's in volume 2 is the Legion of Superheroes stuff.
Oh yeah,
the Great Darkness.
Yes, I have those in the deluxe editions and stuff. But
yeah, I'm so jealous. You have the pull out poster.
No, I don't actually. I have
you have the previous version.
Yes, and I didn't know it had a poster until I saw Omar's video, and I'm like, what the heck? I was so excited that I didn't need to buy this book because I already have it, even though it's been long out of print. And then he showed me the cool poster at the end. I'm like, oh, I need that poster. Dude, I'm a big Legion of Superheroes fan, and that poster has like the whole roster on it.
So the Great Darkness Saga is what made me now I own the Curse, or I have the Curse coming in. I have 5 Years Later, Volume 1 and 2.
Oh, nice.
So those are on the to read list.
I feel like my Legion stuff's down here. If I can find it. I think maybe it's upstairs.
Silo Norman was the sidekick. Is that really his name? I would have never got that.
I'm terrible with character names, so that could very well be the case.
Well, yeah. Okay. I would have never remembered that name. The Plastic Man DC Finest was hilarious.
Oh, it's great. That's like Golden Age era comics, but I feel like those are the best, the easiest to read as a modern fan of the Golden Age comics. Like they're like fun and the art's great.
The only thing I've read every issue of is the Eternals.
I've read every Kirby issue of the Eternals, but like the moderns, like the Kieran Gillen run, I would do want to read. That's a modern run I want to read.
And then Steve Rivers is dope. Cool.
I agree with that for sure.
Here we are. I need another after 0 hour Omni for Legion.
There was a lot of Legion of Superheroes Omnis that appeared on the top 60 list that they did the big poll for.
Ooh, that's cool.
Recognition. So if you're a Legion of Superheroes fan, I feel like we're going to get some more Omnis in the future.
I'm slowly growing into it. I think it's up my alley.
It's so much fun. And if you're a Silver Age Comics fan, I love those Silver Age omnibuses so much. Like they're such wacky, crazy fun, and they actually do have stakes. Like some characters do die, some characters lose their arms. Like their cast is constantly evolving, and they even have like these tryouts where like people, like these kids with superpowers in the 31st century will try out to be on the Legion of Superheroes, and they get rejected. So there's like this rejected team of superheroes. It's wacky fun.
Paul Levitt's Legion needs an Omni.
I feel like that might be the next one we get if we get one.
All right. So Jack Kirby's Mr. Miracle Artist Edition. Taylor, I have this on my pre-order list, sneak peek. So this will be coming into me. What about you?
Oh, yes. I cannot wait to get this in.
I'm so excited.
Going to cherish this thing.
All right. Besides this, we also have Fantastic Four in the Marvel Masterworks edition.
Okay, I was curious about this because I know we heard all the news about how the Marvel Masterworks program is going on hiatus or indefinite suspension, whatever the words they used. So a lot of these big runs, especially with like their core characters like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, I was wondering where they were at, and it looks like this will be the last Fantastic Four volume we get for a while, but it does at least conclude, it says, the John Byrne run, which is nice.
That is nice, where you could just finish a book series off on the ending of a run.
Yeah, and John Byrne's run is like up there with the top Fantastic Four runs ever. So it's a good one to end it on.
So Taylor, we always have a divisive conversation here at TBATB regarding Marvel Masterworks. Does one go with the standard cover or the DM cover? Okay,
well, the thing about this is I don't own any Masterworks. I used to back in the day, but I don't anymore. The thing about this is that the spines are different. So you got to go with
also true.
So you have to go with what the spines are going to say, because the spines on this style that you're showing right now have the number volume of the Masterworks. So this will be like Masterworks volume 345. And that's what the spine will say. The other cover is based on the volume number of Fantastic Four. So I think you'd go with, if you're trying to collect all the Marvel Masterworks, you have to go with the first one. Because how often are you going to have a volume 300, 300 volumes with all the numbers there? So you got to go with that cover. So I'm going to defer to the spine on this one.
See, our ongoing is, why am I paying the same money for less art?
I do agree that the cover is better on this version.
Yeah, this
than on the other one. I do agree with that, and I do love the classic, like the border around the picture there too. Like definitely a way better cover. But I think
cool cover for this one too, by the way.
Depends on how you're viewing it. The issue here where it says, "Do you stop Nick Fury from killing Hitler?" I still have the single issue from my childhood. That's one of the first issues of Fantastic Four I ever read, and it's literally on the cover. It's got Nick Fury aiming at Hitler, and She-Hulk and the Fantastic Four is like, "Do we stop him or do we let him kill him?"
That sounds
Fantastic Four, so I don't know if there's some correlation there, but Fantastic Four is my favorite Marvel comic.
That's awesome. Cool. So we have those options available, but we also have the Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing.
And with Fantastic Four being my favorite Marvel comic, The Thing is my favorite Marvel character. So I'm stoked that they're putting this out finally. And look at that cover. He's punching a hole through Man-Thing. Like, what a sick cover. You don't get the kind of violence in a Marvel comic typically.
That's a lot for Marvel, especially during this time frame.
And they got away with it because he's like a swamp character. Like he's just punching like vegetation and leaves.
Yeah, that's not any internals or blood.
But it's clobbering time for sure on that cover. But this is Marvel 2-in-1. Have you ever read any of these?
No, I sorry to say I've never read a 2-in-1 before.
All right, so these are when The Thing was starring. He's one of the big stars of Marvel back then. It's like one of the top characters. So they had him doing his own series where every issue he'd team up with a different character. And a lot of times it was for him to be able to prop up other characters. No, JK. Prop up other characters. So it'll be like an issue where Thing fights Man Thing because they want to prop up Man Thing and give him more of a spotlight.
Gotcha.
So that's what all these are. It's just him teaming up different characters, but it does have a through line story going on, and they do have fun little like twist where like the issue will end on like a concluding event with that character, but then it'll like introduce the next character that comes in.
Gotcha.
A lot of good Steve Gerber stuff in here. Sal Buscema draws a lot of it. Ron Wilson draws a bunch, which is good because he is the guy that takes over and does the art for the John Byrne written Thing series. That takes place during the aforementioned John Byrne Fantastic Four run.
I think I've read...
And also, one last thing about this omnibus, it does include issue number 21. So when this was originally solicited, it was omitting that issue because that issue he teams up with Doc Savage, who is not owned by Marvel. So when Omar first announced this, they did not have the issue. It said like it collects issues 1 through 20 and then 22 through 36 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But when Omar got this in, he saw that it was included. So this does include every single issue. No, there's the contents right there.
Here's the list. Yeah.
Yeah. So that this listing is old news.
I'm going to tell Chris, man, that's another mistake. Chris is the one that makes these more like strike 5, actually.
But yeah, the Marvel Feature 11 and 12, that's what kicked off the Marvel 2-in-1 series. Marvel Feature was an old style comic that then launched into this.
There's an issue with Thing and Machine Man and Jocasta I read as a kid. I need that one. Issue 103 or something. Yeah,
this lasted 100 or so issues, and then it bled into the Thing run on his own. So we have enough material, I think, for 3 volumes.
Sweet. So you can go with either your standard cover or your DM cover. Between the two, I think I'm for the ultra violence of the standard cover.
I know I'm torn on this one because Jack Kirby, I think, is the artist on the second one, if I'm not mistaken.
That looks like Kirby.
Because it was Kirby when he came back in the 70s and was drawing a bunch of covers for Marvel.
Gotcha.
He refused to come back and do the he wouldn't do any Fantastic Four issues interiors, but he would do some covers. But the other one, I just love that cover where he's punching through Man Thing.
Yeah, that's sick. Strike 5. You know it, Mike. So we have... There we are. Silver Surfer Epic Collection, Into the Outer Void. What are we collecting here? Silver Surfer 111 through 122. Silver Surfer Dangerous Artifacts. Silver Surfer Ashkin #1. Spider-Man Team Up #2 and material from X-Men Unlimited 1993 plus number 13 and Marvel Holiday Special 1996. That's as much information that I know about this as I do.
Do you collect any Marvel Epics?
I started doing so a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And then I stopped because I said, why am I going to collect these when I could just get the omnibus? So
yeah,
I have some, like I have Spider-Man and Epics. I have X-Men and Epics, but that's about it.
I collect a lot of Epics, but I minimize myself to certain lines. So I'll collect like anything mutant related. I have an Epic collections, not omnibus.
Gotcha.
And then I have like any Fantastic Four that's not already in an omnibus. I have in Epics. And then when they get an omnibus, I'll sell off those Epics and kind of upgrade.
Gotcha.
I used to have every Silver Surfer, but I had to shrink down my Epic collections and what I was collecting because they've upped the price on these, unfortunately. But I do know this is volume number 12, so you know they released the Epics out of order.
Yeah.
Right? This is volume number 12, which gives us a run of volume 12, 13, and 14. So this is like and then we have all the way.
It's a filler.
Yeah, we have 1 through 9, and then 12, 13, 14. So we're only missing now
10, 11.
Although, no, hold on, correction. There is no volume 2 yet either. That's the one that would collect the entirety of the John Buscema run.
Got it.
Which we have in like every format ever besides Epic Collection.
Well, Epics, they're cool. I mean, for the price, man, you're getting the most amount of collected edition possible.
And they collect everything, which is great.
Yeah, so they don't collect everything. Issue. Yep. But we also have some compact comics. So we have Superman Birthright. So here's my true shame. I've owned this in a deluxe edition for many years now. Actually, I would probably say around 4 to 5 years now. I've never read it.
Hey, you've taken the shame and embarrassment off of me because I've not read it either, but I don't own it. So you're in a worse shape than I am, I guess. But we should both correct that because Mark Waid is an incredible writer, and I know Francis Yu is a great artist, and I've heard nothing but great things about this run. I think Jess Bragg, the Omnidog, cites this as one of his favorite Superman stories. And I mean, for $10 and $8 if you're buying it off of OPB, you can't go wrong.
So yeah, I mean, Jake loves this book. It's a new origin to Superman. As much as I could say. So this is a true jumping on point for any reader. And I have a feeling this is coming out at this time frame because of the new Superman movie.
It's got to be. And having this in stores, this format is perfect for like having it in bookstores or airports or wherever. The commoners, the common fans can come across it and pick it up and hopefully then buy a lot of more comics. Mark Waid's one of the few writers that I trust to write superheroes, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mark Waid and Kurt Busiek, as far as like modern writers that are still doing it, I'll read anything they do superhero related. They just have such a love and like respect for the superhero genre.
Yeah,
and only write great stories.
Dude, it was super cool meeting Mark Waid earlier this year. I had him sign my Kingdom Come Absolute.
Oh, where'd you meet him at?
WonderCon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
I'd like to meet him one day.
Was nice. It was nice talking to him for a little bit. He was psyched about being on Superman. So that was all he could talk about. It was cool.
Yeah. No, he's awesome. I'd love to meet him one day. I've never met him, but because he's one of those historian type writers too, where you could probably just talk for days about comics with that guy and never get bored.
Yeah. And then we also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1 Return to New York Library Edition. Whew, these titles are getting longer.
Are you a Turtles fan, Jordan?
Okay. Here's my history with the Turtles. I watched some of the cartoons as I was growing up, and I'm talking about the more modern, the 2000 era's cartoons, before Michael Bay made his TMNT movies. I've read a little bit of Turtles. I have the first two, and I have the third of the hardcover compendiums. Oh. So I've read the first half of the first volume, and it's very on brand. And that's about it. So am I a huge fan of the Turtles? Not really, but I do enjoy Turtle content every so often.
That's fair. So I've read every Turtles run in comics ever, except for the recent ongoing IDW run that has like 17 volumes of hardcovers. Mm-hmm. It's like those are like the only Turtles comics I've not read, including this, which is like the soft reboot series by Jason Aaron. So I need to get on that. There's no excuse for why I haven't done that, but like all the early Turtle stuff, like the one you're talking about, the compendium I love that stuff. There's a few runs after that were great. I actually have the Archie Comics run.
Oh, that's cool.
That just came out in a hardcover recently.
That's really cool.
TMNT Adventures.
Yeah.
So these were put out by Archie Comics back in the day, and they're like kid friendly, but it's like the same continuity as like the 90s cartoon series. But I love Turtles. But this, I don't know if I've torn on this because I have not read all 18 volumes or whatever of the IDW series, and this is a soft reboot. Should I just start here? There are a lot of great artists in here that I really, really like Cliff Chang, Chris Burnham, and Derek Robertson, Raphael Albuquerque. So like, I don't know. I might pick this up.
I mean, this seems cool. Like the cover alone is kind of selling me on it. Turtles, man. They can be really fun. They're kind of in the same camp with like Transformers for me. It's the same kind of deal. I've watched content for it. I've read some material, but that's about it. So it's a deep dark shame of mine. That's all we're talking about this week.
Superman, Birthright, and Turtles.
And Turtles and Transformers, all in the same camp. Here we go. But we also have Wolverine Sabretooth War Omnibus, which this is the standard cover, and here is our DM cover.
Yeah, I don't know much about this. This is the Krakoa era.
Yeah.
And I have read, I know I said I don't read modern comics, but I did read the beginning of the Krakoa era with X-Men. I loved it. I just like fell off of it and fell behind because
so you read like Hawks Pox.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I read all the way up until Excess Swords, I think was the first big event. And like it wasn't because it was bad or anything. I just stopped reading because I fell behind and never caught up. But
yeah, I get that.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to pick up the trade paperbacks. They're mapped so beautifully and wonderful, but there's like they're putting out like 2 a month. It felt like. Is Vanilla Ice in this series? The Turtles one he's probably talking about. Have you watched the original live action movies?
Like once, probably around 15 years ago.
Okay, I think he's referring to TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, which was an amazing movie, and Vanilla Ice is at the end of it.
What?
Yeah, he does the ninja rap. Go ninja,
that's
ninja,
what the
go.
guy. Okay, yeah.
He's performing it on stage while the Turtles are fighting Shredder and the fake Bebop and Rocksteady.
Sick. The Sabretooth stuff in this is incredible. I hope so. It looks so cool. And if I had to pick a cover, I mean, honestly, Greg Capullo sells it for me.
And that looks like classic Wolverine comics.
Yeah.
Like that looks like he's doing like a throwback to
a Frank Miller homage or
Yeah.
I
like
that's sick. Speaking about X-Men or X Comics, which we're not done with, we have X-Force by Benjamin Percy, Volume 4, oversized hardcover.
Same deal. Like I got behind on this same era. I think this concludes his X-Force run though. And also you can see how it crosses over with Sabretooth. Does that include this is like a double dip of the omnibus we just looked at? Sabretooth 1 through 5 and
yeah, Sabretooth and the Exiles 1 through 5, and then we have Wolverine 41. Yeah, it is a double dip.
Wait, hold on.
Wait. There's something wrong here.
I think the contents are wrong.
Chris, that's strike 6.
Yeah, because that can't be that this has exact same contents. That's wild.
You know what? We're gonna do a live update.
You need to have like a counter on the screen of like strikes for Chris.
Let's see. We are going to utilize the #1 resource for seeing new releases, comicsreleases.com.
Oh, so you're going to Chris's website? You're trusting that?
Different.
Oh, different Chris.
different
okay.
Chris.
Chris Balga? Is that the one that does this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris Balga. Let's see. What book were we on? X-Force. All right, I'm on it. Oh my god, there's so many books. Well, I tried doing an update. There's too much material for me to go
we
through.
have a moral dilemma here with Jake in the chat.
Oh
Jake
no,
is
Jake in the chat? Oh no. They are all heading to a strip club tonight, and my wife said she trusts me, and I'm good to go. Does that mean I can go to the strip club? No.
I would say no, but that's just me. I'm not into strip clubs either. Never been to one in my life. It's just not my thing.
One either.
But Jake, you do what you feel is right in your gut.
Yeah. You do you, Jakey Poo.
Oh, Chris Balga's in the chat.
Chris is back at Chris, strike 6, my dude. You know what? I'm gonna send you the link. We expect you to be. I'm kidding. I don't want your kids. I'm joking. They always say it's okay. And do what's right, my friend. Thank you, Taylor, for stepping in this week. Yes, thank you so much, Taylor. It's much appreciated.
Absolutely.
All right, that's enough from those guys. Let's see. We're gonna say sorry for the mistake. If you want an update on what the correct content is, go to organicpricebooks.com.
I'm sure if someone's ordering the 4th volume, they know the contents probably. Exactly.
Same thing here.
Unless you're Jake and you start on like odd volume numbers when you're reading.
I'm glad everyone knows about that. Had a massive migraine and needed to feel better for tomorrow. Yes, do so. Go feel better. I hate having migraines.
Especially if you're going back to the convention tomorrow. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You got to rest up, and you don't want to go back like that.
So Conan the Barbarian, this is being reprinted by Titan. They picked up the license. They are doing an awesome job so far, although things do keep getting pushed back. But you know what? I'm saying as long as that material comes out, it's worth it. And they're printing new material as well. So they've are going ahead and continuing on with Conan. But this is Volume 5, which is really the jumping on point for Conan. It's a joke. I have no idea. That's a saucy cover.
Oh, I like that one. I'm not a huge Conan fan. I read a lot of the early stuff with Big John Buscema and Barry Windsor Smith.
Sweet. Yep. So like Savage Sword and
yeah. Well, I haven't read any Savage Sword actually. Just like the earlier of the Marvel.
Oh,
issue,
got it.
I think if there was one that appealed to me the most, it'd probably be the Savage Sword stuff. There's just too many volumes. I don't have the space for them.
Yeah, there's.
So I just have to say no before because I'm also obsessive to where if I start collecting something, I have to have like every volume. But
I'm the same way. I'm the same way, my dude. But there is 2 covers. So I also see another. It's a standard cover for the DM right here.
And kudos to Titan for keeping the same trade dress and spine with the Marvel ones too. Like that's such a cool thing that you never get when a license goes from different companies to different companies. But
is the headache from wrangling Jake all weekend? You say you're not going, but then actually go, and if she gets mad, you have a point. What? Oh, I wouldn't go. Jake has been a great guest. Yeah, he's a great guest. But not a great. Oh man, where are we at? Is there more comics to look at? Do we have more? We do have more. We have a Local Man Deluxe Edition, the oversized hardcover.
I've not read this series. Who's the creative team on this?
Neither have I. We have. Oh,
it doesn't say.
No, I don't have any
Scott
material.
Snyder's the only name on the cover, and that's just for a blurb.
Let's look this up. Local Man.
I'm sure someone's putting it in the chat for us. Maybe.
Here we go. Probably someone's doing us the favor, but just in case, we have Tim Seeley and Tony Flex.
Oh, that's the.
Flex.
I think it's Fleece.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's Tim Seeley, obviously a longtime writer, but Tony Fleece, I think that's the guy that did that Stray Dogs. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And then we got 2 comments. Tim Seeley, thanks guys, much appreciated. Does that look right to you? Collecting numbers 1 through 13, 25, and the Gold and the Bad Girls one shot.
Yeah, I like I said, I haven't read this, but I think there is some sort of like time jump they do in 25, and then it goes on with 14 through. I think so. I think that's the case.
That's interesting. Wow. Well, if you guys are reading the series, let me know down below if I should pick it up because this seems interesting. More Savage Sword of Conan. This is definitely on my pickup list. I swear we've talked about this book before, so I'm going to assume this got pushed back. Yeah. I'm picking this cover.
That's a great one. I like him fighting that giant monster or snake or whatever that is.
Yeah, with a sea serpent.
Yeah.
Looks cool. This one, feel like there's some aggression in here that I'm not vibing with. This, though.
Which, I mean, those are like you see this giant barbarian fighting this giant monsters. Like, who doesn't want to read that? I just don't have space for it all.
It's so good. Great small town noir. And really funny. Okay. They parody image. Look ahead. It's a good run. All right, well. That's more feedback than I've ever heard on Local Man. Sounds like I might have to give it a try. It looks pretty cool. I love all the artwork of the superheroes in the background.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That's sick. Taylor, this brings us to the very end. We have looked at every new release that's coming out this week.
Ooh.
Now, if you could only have one, though, what you picking?
It's got to be Mr. Miracle. Like, there's no other. Nothing's even close to that one. I am torn though because Marvel 2-in-1. I've been wanting that in omnibus for a long time. But this Mr. Miracle Artist Edition, I want all the Jack Kirby Artist Editions back in print, please, IDW.
Do you have Forever People?
No, I don't have any of them.
Okay.
I don't have any of Jack Kirby's Artist Editions, which I do collect that format and I really like it, but I was too late to the game.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Them. But yeah, I'd like to have the Forever People. And this was an era too in the 70s when Jack Kirby was really not only keeping his original art because of the whole issue with Marvel, but also like scanning in his original art and stuff. So I think a lot of this exists around, and this has complete issues in it. So you can even, it's even one of those artist editions where you can sit down and actually read it.
That's so cool. For me, man, I have both of these on pre-order already, honestly. So I these are my two picks, but just if I had only one, yeah, I think it's the Mr. Miracle. It's so cool, man. I'm so excited for when I get this in.
I know that's Kirby's best stuff. Kirby's best era, I think, is the 70s. I think his artwork is just amazing during that time. And you're getting these 2-page spreads in there too that he did. Doing great stuff.
Oh, man, that's so cool. But I think that's gonna bring us to the very end today. Taylor, where can the audience find you at?
Over at Taylor Talks Comics on YouTube, and go over there and please subscribe because I think I'm getting close to I'm inching my way to 4,000 subscribers, so I need you guys' help. Go over there.
Go
and
help
like I said,
them.
Tomorrow I have the great Jack Kirby Sky Masters book I'll be showing off on my channel. I already have the video filmed, ready to go. It'll drop tomorrow morning, so check that out.
Sweet. Guys, go give Taylor some love. If you like everything that we've been doing here, I mean, you could just subscribe to us right down below. Promise next week we're going to be back. We should be back to the standard cast and crew, but Taylor, you are always invited on anytime. So
I appreciate that. And Jake said just as much too, and I will try to hop on whenever I have a night off where I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, man, you're a great resource, and you're way better at this than I am. But
no, don't sell yourself short.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have a great evening, a great weekend. Keep reading and stay brave. See ya.